Viewer, please like and subscribe me, and we send the amazing and wonderful African stories. Thanks.
There's someone sleeping by the window. Maybe he's the guard they said was one of the kidnappers, whispered the adorable Luis. Luke quietly walked toward one corner and picked up a long iron rod. Untie him, and I'll stand guard over the kidnapper, he whispered to his two brothers. Are we really letting him go? What if he's actually a bad guy? Maybe that's why he was kidnapped, Lucas whispered anxiously. Didn't you guys listen earlier? The kidnappers said they were just ordered to do it, and they even said the man was unlucky to be kidnapped because he's actually kind, just hated by a lot of people, Luis whispered back. Lucas scratched the back of his head in hesitation, but eventually he made a decision. They released the man tied to the chair. They untied the ropes around his wrists and ankles. When the man regained consciousness, he was surprised to see 3 identical-looking children standing in front of him. Shh, please don't make a sound, sir. We're here to help you. There's still a kidnapper guarding the window, whispered Luis, holding a finger to his lips. The man quickly understood what the triplets meant. He stood up, although he struggled a bit due to his bruises. His lip and cheek were busted, but he forced himself to walk. With the triplets supporting him on both sides, he managed to take a few steps. What's your name, sir? Lucas asked. Tristan Gordon, the man replied. But how did they even end up in this situation? Let's find out. A person's kindness has limits. Some people are just naturally kind, humble and always smiling, but that doesn't mean they can't be pushed too far. Everything in this world has a limit, especially when taken for granted. Good morning, everyone. My name is Andrea, and this is my story, one I hope you'll learn something valuable from. This is for you, ma'am. Please don't be shy, Andrea said with a smile as she handed some bread to an elderly homeless woman. She had just passed her by and decided to buy her something to eat from a nearby bakery. Thank you so much, sweetheart. So many people have passed by earlier, and I asked nicely, but not a single one gave me anything. You're so kind. May you be blessed double for the goodness you share with others, the old woman said, smiling gratefully. Thank you, Mom. I don't need anything in return. I hope your kind words come true for someone else instead, Andrea said softly. The old woman offered her sincere thanks. Since Andrea had some money left, she gave the rest to the woman so she could buy more food beyond just bread. Andrea, you're almost late again. Let me guess, you fed another homeless person or stray animal, didn't you? Mildred, Andrea's friend and manager at the restaurant where she worked as a waitress, greeted her teasingly. Let me be, Mildred. You know that helping others makes me happy. Even if I'm not rich, I just want to help in any way I can. Fine. No use arguing with your kindness, Mildred said, raising her hands in defeat. After their short conversation, Andrea changed into her waitress uniform. She had a degree in business administration, but since she was a fresh graduate, none of the big companies had accepted her yet. For now, she was trying her luck in the city, helping her farmer parents back in the province. How dare you! You think you're better than me? You're just an old rich lady who's about to become irrelevant, yelled a woman at one of the tables. She was shouting at an elderly woman, and Andrea quickly approached. Excuse me, what's going on here? Please calm down, ma'am. Maybe you can talk this out more peacefully. There's no need to shout, Andrea said in a calm voice. Stay out of this. Don't you know who I am? I'm a successful businesswoman. You're both useless. You're both getting on my nerves, screamed the entitled woman. Bea, stop this. What do you think you're doing? Apologize now or else, said a man who had just arrived, his tone authoritative. Andrea was stunned by how handsome he was in his formal attire. He looked young and professional, possibly around her age. Whatever, Bea shouted as she stormed off in a tantrum. Bea, let's talk, the man said, following her quickly. Andrea turned her attention back to the elderly woman. Are you okay, Mom? I'll get you some water. Please wait here, she said gently, walking to the counter to fetch some. People around them, who had earlier stared at the commotion, returned to their own activities. Andrea handed the water to the elderly woman. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You're very kind. You shouldn't have gotten involved earlier. You ended up being yelled at by Bea, too, the old woman said. It's okay, ma'am. What she did wasn't right either, Andrea replied. After a few minutes, the man returned. I'm sorry, Mrs. Sandoval. I'm sending Bea back to the States. I'll personally handle the renewal of your contract with our company and escort you home, he said, then turned to Andrea. I'm really sorry about what happened. Thank you for helping Mrs. Sandoval. Here's my business card. Text me anytime. I'd like to return the favor. Andrea didn't say a word and just nodded. Eventually, they left. That simple act of kindness changed Andrea's life. She later found out that the man was named Tristan. He treated her to dinner at a fancy restaurant as thanks. They kept in touch, grew closer, and eventually fell in love. Later, they officially became a couple. On the other hand, you don't have a meeting this afternoon, but there are still papers you need to sign. You'll finish them before the end of the day, so you can relax after, Andrea said, while looking at the iPad in her hands. She and Tristan had been in a relationship for almost a year now. He had hired her as his personal assistant, and thanks to her combined diligence and intelligence, Andrea always managed to complete every task Tristan assigned her. Really? That's great then, was all Tristan said. He raised his arms, inviting Andrea for a hug. Andrea smiled and walked up to him, wrapping him in a tight embrace. Tristan pulled her in and kissed her on the lips. Your hugs and kisses take all my stress away, Tristan whispered. Andrea just laughed softly and kissed him again, easing his exhaustion completely. For them, their relationship was perfect. They felt like the happiest and luckiest people in love. This is my uncle. He'll be living here temporarily. Uncle, this is Andrea, my fiancée. We're getting married next month. Tristan introduced them to each other. Really? It's great to meet you, sweetheart. You're even more beautiful in person, said Dante with a smile, taking Andrea's hand and kissing it. Andrea politely pulled her hand back and smiled awkwardly but respectfully. It's nice to meet you too, sir, she said. After the introduction, the uncle and nephew chatted while Andrea stayed quiet. Days passed, and Dante was frequently around the house. Andrea began to notice how overly close Dante was to her, even when she tried to avoid him. Tristan, I didn't want to bring this up, but I'm really uncomfortable now, Andrea said, sitting on their bed while Tristan was changing into his pajamas. I feel uneasy with how close your uncle is to me. The way he acts when he's near me, it's off, and I don't like it, she added. Tristan sat beside her. If you're uncomfortable, please just try to be patient with him. I don't have any other family left. Uncle Dante is all I have. If it's not too much to ask, can you try to stretch your patience a bit? You can handle it, right? He said gently. Andrea hesitated but nodded slowly. Moments later, Tristan leaned in toward Andrea. She closed her eyes as their lips met. As Tristan's lips moved, Andrea found herself responding. That night, they shared kisses, embraces, and touches. Their bodies moved together without hesitation, filled with love for each other. The next morning, Andrea woke up early to prepare breakfast and lunch for Tristan. They didn't have a housemaid because Andrea could handle cooking for everyone. Tristan left early for a morning meeting at the company, while Andrea would follow later since she wasn't required to arrive early. Despite being his personal assistant, Tristan also had a secretary. Whatever you're cooking smells as good as you, came a whisper from behind, startling Andrea. It was Dante. I'm not cooking, Uncle. I'm washing the dishes. The food's on the table already. Please help yourself, she said politely, trying to stay composed. Really? But I wanted something else to eat, he whispered again, moving closer to her ear. Andrea quickly dropped the dish she was washing and stepped away from him. She wiped her hands on her pajama pants. I think I'll just finish the dishes later. I have somewhere to go, she said quickly, turning to leave, but Dante grabbed her arm. Wait, you seem to be in a rush. Did I do something? I don't think so. Also, I heard you two last night. You seem to be having a great time, Dante said with a smirk. Andrea yanked her arm free. Her skin crawled, and she felt fear rise in her. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe you heard something else. No, I know exactly what I heard last night. Andrea didn't respond. She turned and walked away quickly, heading out of the kitchen. But Dante caught up and yanked her hair, making her cry out in pain. Stop pretending to be pure. I'm better than Tristan anyway, so stay with me. Dante grinned as he moved his face close to Andrea's neck. Andrea turned away and tried to break free, even with her hair still in his grip. Ow! Let me go! You're hurting me! Please have mercy! I haven't done anything wrong, she pleaded tearfully. You haven't done anything wrong. We're just going to enjoy ourselves, Dante said as he grabbed her from behind. Andrea struggled and bit Dante's arm, forcing him to release her. She tried to run, but he caught her again and pushed her to the floor, pinning her down. Help! Someone please help me! Andrea cried, sobbing. No one can hear you, and even if they do, by the time they get here, our little game will be over. Dante laughed as he tried to remove her pants. He managed to pull them off, but she was wearing cycling shorts underneath, which surprised him. Stop it, you pervert! Andrea screamed, kicking Dante between the legs. He groaned in pain and stumbled back. Andrea took the chance to stand and escape. She ran out of the house, unsure where to go. She just wanted to get far away from Dante. What happened, Andrea? Why did you suddenly show up here at the company like that? Tell me, what happened to you? Tristan asked, visibly worried. They were in his office. Andrea sat on the couch, looking dazed and slightly trembling. Tristan had already asked his staff for a pair of pants she could change into. Andrea, please tell me so I can help you, Tristan added as he sat beside her on the couch. Your uncle almost raped me, Andrea said, barely above a whisper, but firmly. As she looked into Tristan's eyes, her tears began to fall. He almost did it, Tristan. I'm scared of him. I was right to feel uncomfortable from the beginning. He wants me, she said, her voice shaking. Tristan's face registered shock from Andrea's words. What do you mean? He asked nervously. Andrea reached out and held his hand, still crying. I'm sorry, Tristan. I tried to bear it. I tried to brush it all off. But I'm telling the truth. I'm not lying. You believe me, right? It started with simple touches, but earlier, he really pulled down my pajamas. He almost succeeded. I was just lucky to get away. But he wouldn't do that. Maybe someone else was responsible. Andrea, whoever it is, just tell me. Don't drag my uncle into this. I've known him forever, Tristan said. Andrea was about to respond when the office door suddenly opened. Dante walked in. Is your fiancée here? She managed to escape. I just scolded her, and she left the dishes unfinished. She even kicked me in the groin. Dante barked angrily. Tristan looked back and forth between Dante and Andrea, unsure who to believe. I kicked you because you tried to rape me, Andrea shot back. What? Rape? Are you insane? Why would I do that to my own nephew's fiancée? Dante replied in disbelief. Andrea looked at Tristan and gripped his hand tightly. Believe me, Tristan, I'm not lying. Please trust me, she said. Believe me, Tristan, I'm your family. Do you really think I'd do such a thing? That woman's trying to ruin me just so she can have you and your wealth, all to herself, Dante countered angrily. Andrea wiped her tears. You know me, Tristan. If you truly love me, you'll believe me. But it seems like you already made your choice. Andrea stood up and stepped away. You don't need to choose anymore, Tristan. From what you're saying, you're already doubting me. I know who you're siding with. It's fine, I understand. I'm kind and I know how to forgive. But I can't allow myself to be abused and stay in a situation I know is wrong. Let's just break up so you don't have to suffer. Her final words shattered her world, but she didn't take them back. She was determined to stand by her decision. She didn't need someone who claimed to love her, but doubted her truth. Andrea, please, don't let it come to this. Don't make a decision while you're emotional. Tristan pleaded. No, Tristan. Let's break up. Please don't stop me. Don't try to find me. You don't want me accusing your uncle, right? I also don't want to stay trapped in something I don't want. So I'm sorry, Andrea said, holding back tears. She quickly walked out of Tristan's office, left the building, and walked away from the company. Her heart was tight with pain, and tears kept streaming down her face. It hurt to say those things to Tristan, and to leave him. But what hurt more was that he didn't try to stop her from leaving. She went back to Tristan's house, packed her things, and left without anyone stopping her. She decided to return to her parents in the countryside. Mom, Dad, Andrea called as she saw her parents in their small home. She dropped her bag and ran to hug them tightly. She couldn't hold back her tears. What's wrong, sweetheart? Why are you crying? Did something happen between you and Tristan? Her mother, Lisa, asked anxiously. We're not together anymore, Mom. We broke up, Andrea answered, still clinging to their embrace, trying not to cry again. Her parents hadn't met Tristan in person, but she had told them about him before. I see. Don't worry, sweetheart. There are plenty of other men out there, better looking and richer ones too, her father, Miguel, said comfortingly. They went inside their humble home and continued their conversation. Andrea told them everything that had happened, and her parents were furious. He's worthless. He didn't even stand by you. Good thing you left him. Just because you two didn't end up together doesn't mean the world is over, Miguel said angrily. Miguel, that's enough. We don't know Tristan's side of the story. Let's not judge him right away. Calm yourself, Lisa said gently. Mum, Dad, I'm pregnant, Andrea suddenly revealed, crying again. Her parents were stunned. What? Oh my gosh, does Tristan know you're expecting? Lisa asked in shock. Andrea shook her head. I didn't get the chance to tell him. Everything was so overwhelming and painful. I just wanted to get away to avoid more hurt, but it seems I'm hurting even more now. Don't worry, we'll help you through this. It's better for you to stay here with us than to remain under that man's roof. We'll raise your baby, our grandchild, together. Don't ever go back to him, Miguel declared firmly. Andrea didn't say a word. She had no intention of going back. She had hidden the truth from Tristan. She still loved him, but she didn't want to tell him the truth. Not yet. Maybe in time. For now, she would trust her parents. Months passed. Andrea gave birth, and to their surprise, she had triplets. The pregnancy had been hard on her, but she endured every hardship and pain just to take care of and safely deliver her healthy baby boys. Her parents were overjoyed that the delivery went well, and that the triplets were healthy. The years went by, and the boys grew up handsome, smart, and adorable. Welcome back, Mommy, said Luke happily, the eldest of the triplets. Andrea had just arrived home from town, where she worked as a bank manager. Mummy, we played with Grandpa Miguel earlier. We flew a kite outside, Lucas, the middle child, said excitedly. Yeah, Mommy, we had so much fun, added Luis, the youngest. Even though the three boys looked exactly alike, Andrea could still tell them apart. She knew each one by heart, though her parents often got confused when telling them apart. Really? That's great to hear. Just keep having fun, and if you don't have anything else to do, stay inside. Don't give your grandparents a hard time, Andrea said with a smile. The triplets nodded in unison. Andrea changed clothes before helping her mum prepare dinner. They all ate together as a family after the food was ready. Andrea helped get the triplets ready for bed, styling their hair and tucking them in. The next day, Andrea left early again. Miguel also headed out to work on the farm, leaving Lisa at home with the kids. "Grandma, can we play outside, just at the neighbor's house?" Luke asked. "Yeah, Grandma. You know our playmates over there. We won't go far," Lucas chimed in. "All right, but come back by afternoon. Even if you're just next door, don't stay out late," Lisa said, while sweeping inside the house. "Okay, Grandma, I'll keep an eye on my brothers," Luke promised, and the triplets headed out together. When they arrived at the neighbor's house, no one was there. Their playmates had gone out of town with their family, leaving only an aunt behind to watch the house. "What now? Carlo isn't here." "Should we go home instead?" one of them asked. "Let's just play somewhere else. That place with the abandoned building is a bit far, Luis, and who knows what's in there?" The others replied, but Luis didn't listen. He suddenly ran toward the abandoned building. Luke and Lucas didn't hesitate to follow him, worried about what he might do. "Wait up, Luis, you might trip. Let's just go home and play there or we'll get in trouble," Luke shouted. "Just for a bit, okay? We'll only take a quick peek," Luis replied. After a short run, Luis stopped when they reached the abandoned building. He immediately hid, so his brothers followed suit. "What is it?" Luke whispered. "There's someone inside. See that car? I thought this place was deserted," Luis said. "They say this place is haunted. Let's go home. This is scary." Lucas covered his mouth, while Luis stayed silent. "Where's the guy you caught?" "You didn't beat him too badly, did you? We kidnapped him because we need him alive," a man standing in front of a car said. "He's inside, boss. Looks like he's about to wake up. I'll just go get something to eat." "I'll come with you. No one's coming around here anyway. There's a guard inside, right?" After the short conversation, the two men got in the car and left. "Let's go home before the kidnappers catch us," Luke said urgently. "But what about the guy they kidnapped? Shouldn't we help him?" Luis asked. "We might get hurt, Luis. But Mom says we should help others if we can." "Exactly, but maybe we can't. Let's go home and tell Mommy. Maybe she can do something. We're just kids." Luis stayed quiet. They were about to leave when they realized Lucas wasn't beside them. They looked around and saw him heading into the abandoned building. Before Luke could say anything, Luis had already followed him. Although hesitant, Luke followed too. No matter how he tried to convince them otherwise, he couldn't stop his brother's curiosity. They quietly crept around the building, exploring until they reached the second floor. There they saw a man tied to a metal chair, with a cloth covering his eyes and mouth. "There's someone sleeping by the window. Maybe that's the guard kidnapper," Luis whispered. Luke slowly walked to one corner and picked up a long iron rod. "Untie him, and I'll guard the kidnapper," he said. "Are we really letting him go? What if he's a bad guy? Maybe that's why he was kidnapped." "Didn't you listen earlier? The kidnappers said they were just ordered to do it. They even said the guy was unlucky because he's a good person but has a lot of enemies," Luis whispered. Lucas scratched his head. Eventually, they decided to untie the man. They removed the ropes on his wrists and ankles. When the man regained consciousness, he was shocked to see 3 identical boys staring at him. "Shh, don't make a sound, sir. We're helping you. There's still a kidnapper by the window," Luis whispered, placing his index finger over his lips. The man quickly understood what the boys meant. He stood up, though he struggled due to his injuries. His lips and cheeks were bruised, but he forced himself to walk. With the triplets helping him, he managed to take a few steps. "What's your name, sir?" Tristan Gordon," the man replied. The triplets didn't ask any more questions. They kept walking until they finally got out of the abandoned building. They ran into someone they knew who insisted that Tristan be taken to the police station. The triplets didn't want to go, but had no choice. The person who took them to the station also informed Andrea about the triplets' whereabouts. If possible, I don't want the kids involved in this anymore. They saved my life, and I don't want them dragged into anything, Tristan told the police chief. I understand, Mr. Gordon. Don't worry. Thanks to your quick report and my team's fast response, we've already caught the kidnapper who was guarding you. We'll get him to reveal the names of his accomplices and the person who ordered your kidnapping. We'll inform you as soon as we have updates. Tristan expressed his deep gratitude. Meanwhile, the triplets waited on the station's porch for someone to pick them up. On the other side of town, Andrea rushed to the police station as soon as she found out her children were there. She didn't know all the details, only that the kids had helped a stranger. "Luke! Lucas! Luis!" Andrea called out as she finally arrived at the station, worry written all over her face. "Mommy!" the triplets cried out in unison as they ran to hug her. Andrea embraced them tightly, immediately checking them for injuries. "We're okay, Mommy. Sorry we made you worry," one of them said. "We're really sorry, Mommy. We helped a kidnapped man. He's okay now and we didn't get caught by the kidnappers. I'm the one to blame. Punish me instead. I couldn't stop my brothers even though I'm the oldest." "I'm sorry, Mommy," Luke added. Andrea sighed. "What you did was wrong, boys. I taught you to help others. But when it's dangerous, come to me first before acting. You know I worry easily. Don't do it again. Please," Andrea said calmly. The boys nodded. "Andrea, good thing you're here. Your kids are fine and are no longer involved in the case, so you don't have to worry anymore," the police chief said as he stepped out onto the porch. He knew Andrea well. Everyone in their town did, because of her kindness and helpfulness. She had become even more well known because of her good-natured children. "Thank you so much, Chief," Andrea said gratefully, just as someone called her name. Andrea turned to see who had called her name, and was shocked to see the person she had hoped never to encounter again. But fate seemed to be playing games with her, bringing them face to face once more. She felt anxious and afraid, but she chose to stay strong. "Tristan," Andrea whispered. Tristan looked at the triplets. "They're your kids? Did you get married?" Andrea didn't answer. "Mommy, do you know him? He's the one we helped, the kidnapped man," Luke said. "Come on now, kids. Your grandparents are worried. It's time to go," Andrea said seriously, nervously ushering the kids ahead. "Wait, Andrea, can we talk?" Tristan stepped in front of her to stop her. "I'm busy. We're not close. Don't try to talk to me. Let's just pretend today never happened," Andrea replied, walking past him with the triplets. They all walked home together. The kids didn't ask questions on the way, and when they got home, Andrea told her parents everything, including her unexpected reunion with Tristan. "So what are you planning now? What if he finds out the truth about the kids?" Lisa asked worriedly. The triplets were already asleep in their room, and Andrea was in the kitchen with her parents. "My plan is still the same. I have no intention of hiding the truth from Tristan or the kids. I'll just see where all this goes. What matters is that the children are safe," Andrea said. "Right. If he can be a responsible father, then we'll allow it. But we're not letting our guard down. And if he finds out the truth now, he still can't just take the kids. Someone just tried to kidnap him. What if our grandkids get dragged into that mess?" Miguel said, clearly worried. Andrea understood her parents' concern. "Just let me handle this, please. I'll take care of myself and the kids. I just need you both to stay by our side as their grandparents. Thank you for always supporting me, from the beginning and until now," Andrea said, with a gentle smile. Her parents smiled back at her. They continued talking until they eventually decided to call it a night. The next morning, Andrea woke up early to help her mum prepare breakfast. It was a Saturday, and she didn't have work, nor did she the next day, so she had plenty of time to spend with her kids. After breakfast, a neighbor came calling for Andrea and said someone was looking for her outside. "Andrea," Tristan said, standing by the gate. "What are you doing here?" Andrea asked seriously. "I brought gifts for the kids, to thank them for what they did. Please accept them. I mean no harm." Andrea shook her head. "They don't need those. Just leave. I don't want to prolong this conversation." She turned to go back inside, but Tristan's voice stopped her. Are they my children?" Andrea immediately turned around. "What's your problem? Are you here just to make my life harder? My life's peaceful now, Tristan. Just leave me alone. Move on already," she said. "I understand what you're saying, but I can't help but wonder. You know me, Andrea. I can find out anything, and I found out you never had a husband or even a boyfriend around here." Andrea didn't speak right away. She walked up to Tristan and looked him in the eye. "Whether it's true or not, what difference does it make, Tristan? If I told you the triplets are your children, would it change anything?" "Of course it would. I would take responsibility. All these years, you didn't even tell me. I was a fool to listen when you told me not to follow you, that it was over between us. I thought staying away would make you happy, so I respected your wish." "But look what happened, Andrea," Tristan said. Andrea laughed bitterly. "Do you hear yourself? You're blaming me? You really think I should just hand over the right to father my children? Do you honestly think I owe you that?" Tristan's expression changed. Confusion and sadness took over. "Don't take your anger at me out on the kids," he said quietly, with deep emotion. Andrea felt guilty after hearing his words. She had prepared herself for the day she would face Tristan again. She thought she could control her emotions, but being in the moment proved different. She had been angry at him, but she had also accepted her situation and was even grateful for the children she had raised well with her parents' help. Andrea was stunned when Tristan suddenly knelt in front of her and held on to her legs. "I'm sorry for not believing you back then. Do whatever you want to me, even hit me. I'll take it, because I know I was wrong. Uncle Dante is in jail now for assaulting a minor last year. I regret not believing you right away. I tried to find you, but I was afraid you'd drive me away. Now that I know we have kids, even if you push me away again, I'll do everything to earn your forgiveness and prove that I still love you, and I will believe in you from now until the end," he said, with all his heart. Andrea didn't say anything. She saw the tears in Tristan's eyes. Years had passed, but justice had only recently come for what Dante did to her. Andrea was happy about that, but she still didn't know if she could forget everything and start over. "Tristan, I won't keep your children from you, but please, settle your situation first. You were kidnapped. Has the mastermind been caught? What if my family gets dragged into this?" "Don't worry, I won't let anything happen to you or the kids. I can protect you now. I know it's hard to believe, and I know trust isn't easy to rebuild. But I'm telling the truth, I'm sure of it, Andrea." Andrea sighed and helped Tristan to his feet. He quickly wiped his tears and looked at Andrea. "I didn't think the triplets would inherit your tendency to cry when they get scolded," Andrea teased. "Really? Was it hard raising them? When did they learn to walk? What was the first word they said?" Tristan asked in rapid succession, almost tearing up from the emotions. Andrea felt a warmth in her heart. She knew Tristan well, and even though they still had unresolved issues, she was sure he would be a good father to their children. Despite everything Andrea had been through, she still considered herself lucky. She had witnessed the birth of her children and had raised them well. That joy was something she hadn't been able to share with Tristan, and that was the one thing she felt guilty about. They spoke for a while and planned how they would tell the kids. Eventually, Andrea introduced Tristan to the triplets as their father. The father and sons were ecstatic to meet each other. Andrea also spoke with her parents, helping them understand what was happening. There's a lot I can give the boys if they come with me to the city. Of course, I want Andrea to come too, and if you're willing, I'd love for you to live with us. It would give Andrea peace of mind. Please don't feel shy, Tristan said sincerely. There are a lot of opportunities in the city, and I'll be able to work there too. Please come with us, Mom and Dad. I'll need your help, Andrea added. They were all in the living room, while the triplets were in their room opening the toys Tristan had brought. Have you two reconciled already? Miguel asked. Not yet, but I'll do everything to prove I've changed. I'll earn Andrea's trust again. Please allow me to show with actions, not just words, that I mean everything I said, Tristan replied confidently. If that's your decision, then we'll support it. We'll always stand by our daughter, even if you don't ask, Lisa said. Tristan nodded and respectfully thanked Andrea's parents. Together, they planned the next steps for when Andrea and Tristan would live together again. They allowed Tristan to stay with them temporarily, where he slept on the sofa. They saw how happy and connected he was with the kids. The triplets were overjoyed to finally have their father around. Wow, your house is amazing, Daddy. Yeah, it's huge, and there's even a staircase going up. You really are rich, Daddy. I wish we could live here forever. I'm glad you like it here. Don't worry, we're going to live here together now. For good, Tristan replied, smiling as the triplets beamed with excitement. Tristan showed them which rooms would be theirs, while Andrea's parents stayed in the guest room. Andrea guided them there herself. Nothing in Tristan's house had changed. She still remembered everything, since she had lived there for a year before. Andrea remembered the night Dante nearly assaulted her. It had left a deep trauma. But if she let herself be trapped by that memory, all her sacrifices and progress would go to waste. Time passed quickly, and Tristan and Andrea's life together gradually stabilized. Tristan, where are you? Come out and talk to me, shouted a woman entering Tristan's office. She was beautiful and looked wealthy. He's not here. He's still in a meeting. It won't be over for a while, Andrea said calmly while sorting Tristan's documents at his desk. She had resumed work as his personal assistant. She insisted on working because she wanted to contribute to the company, even though Tristan had offered to support them financially. She didn't want to be a burden, especially since she was capable of working. The kids were left at home under the care of Andrea's parents. What do you mean he's not here? Bring him out now. Wait, you must be Andrea, the ex-fiancé he said he would get back together with. So you're back together now? The woman asked, fuming. Andrea furrowed her brow. Yes, that's me. But who are you? Are you really that close to Tristan for him to tell you everything? I'm Sophia. Tristan and I were more than close. I'm his fiancé too. But he backed out of our wedding next month. He told me yesterday there's no hope for us because he's getting back with you, and that you even have kids together. Oh, so you're the one he mentioned, the ex-fiancé he agreed to marry for business reasons, right? Andrea asked boldly. No, he loves me too. That's why he agreed to marry me. He was already moving on from you. But why did you come back and show up again? Sophia snapped, angry. She lunged at Andrea, about to pull her hair, but Andrea dodged, causing Sophia to nearly fall to the office floor. How dare you dodge me? Sophia shouted. Andrea just laughed softly. Why wouldn't I? I'm not going to stand here and be attacked. I'm a good person, and I don't want trouble. If you want to talk to Tristan, wait for him. Don't take it out on me. Andrea had grown tired of being mistreated. She had always been kind, and rarely did she find herself in conflict. But now she had learned to stand up for herself, and for her children. Andrea was about to say more when the office door opened and Tristan walked in. Sophia, what are you doing here? He asked in surprise, quickly walking over to Andrea. What happened? Are you okay? He asked Andrea, who nodded in response. I'm here because I won't let you cancel our wedding plans, Tristan. You can't do this to me. We'll both be humiliated, Sophia cried. I don't care about that, Sophia. I'm ready to introduce my real family to everyone. Even if you pull your company's contract from mine, I'll find a way to keep my business going, Tristan said firmly. No, Tristan, please don't do this to me, Sophia begged, nearing tears as she reached for Tristan's hand, but he pulled Andrea toward him. Stop this madness, Sophia. If you don't want more embarrassment, then stop now. I have a family. You'll find someone else who can give you the love you deserve, he said. Sophia broke down in tears. She could see the seriousness in Tristan's eyes and knew he wouldn't change his mind. Sophia had no choice but to turn and walk out of Tristan's office. She seems decent, doesn't look like a bad person, Andrea commented suddenly. No matter how decent or good she is, I don't feel anything for her. Even if my company fails and I'm humiliated in public, I won't take back what I said. You and our kids are who I choose. No matter what happens, I'll never doubt my decision again, Tristan said seriously, locking eyes with Andrea. Andrea felt her heart race. She knew it wasn't from nervousness. She quickly looked away from Tristan. Finish what you need to sign so we can go home early. You promised to take the kids out, she said, and stepped away to continue organizing his documents. They both went back to work and finished early. They decided to head home. Wow, this place is amazing, Mommy, Daddy. It's so bright and there are so many people. Let's ride the horses over there, the triplets squealed as they ran excitedly toward the carousel. Don't go far from Grandpa and Grandma, Andrea called after them as Lisa and Miguel followed the boys. Shouldn't you be with the kids, bonding with them? Andrea teased Tristan. It's fine, let your parents enjoy them. I'm happy that I get you all to myself for now. You're getting confident. Aren't you afraid I'll push you away again? I'm not afraid. I've trusted you ever since you agreed to come to the city with me, Tristan answered. Andrea didn't respond. They arrived at the carousel and watched the triplets enjoy the ride with their grandparents. Andrea couldn't help but smile and laugh. Her parents looked like they were having fun too. Isn't this the dream we once had? To build a family and be happy together? Tristan asked suddenly. Andrea kept her eyes on their children. Yes, you're right. I'm lucky to have had them since they were babies. I feel complete because of them. They gave me strength when I needed it most. Over time, the pain I endured faded because of them. In that case, can we start over, Andrea? I'll make up for everything. I'll do anything you ask and I'll work hard, Tristan said with determination. Andrea looked at him and their eyes met. She didn't respond right away, but eventually she smiled. If it will make the kids happy, I'll give you another chance. This is your last one, Tristan. Don't waste it, she said softly. Tristan didn't know how to react. His heart was overwhelmed with joy, and he immediately pulled Andrea into a tight embrace. Thank you, Andrea. I promise I won't waste this chance. I'll do better. I'll make you and the kids happy, Tristan said with teary eyes as he held her close. Andrea returned the hug. Yay! Mommy and Daddy are so sweet, Lucas teased as he ran toward them, just coming out of the carousel. Yay, they made up! We're all happy now. Let's go ride the little cars next. The other two cheered excitedly. Andrea and Tristan laughed at the triplets' playfulness. Lisa and Miguel couldn't help but smile as well. They were happy for their daughter and had always supported her. Being a married couple themselves for many years, they knew that not all relationships ended in happiness. Love only deepens and strengthens when both people hold on to each other through every trial. They continued their family outing until evening fell, and it was time to go home. Days passed, and life for Andrea and Tristan remained peaceful. They were both able to give their children enough time and attention. "Mommy, chase me." "Me too, Mommy." "Let's team up on Mommy." The triplets laughed as they ran around the park, where there were slides, swings, and other playground equipment. Other children played nearby with their guardians watching. Andrea ran after them, breathless but happy. The kids laughed loudly every time she almost caught one of them. "Let's stop playing tag for now. Let's have some ice cream first," Tristan called to his wife and children. The triplets immediately stopped running and raced over to Tristan to get their share. Andrea walked over to him too. "Daddy, feed Mommy." "Yes, Daddy, feed her now. Feed her," the triplets chanted in unison. Andrea laughed at their antics. She had her own ice cream and a spoon, but Tristan fed her anyway. She accepted it, smiling, while the kids giggled and squirmed from happiness. Andrea and Tristan laughed with them. They were alone, as Andrea's parents had stayed home. They wanted to give the couple some time to bond with their children. As they joked and teased each other, Andrea suddenly noticed something from where she stood. She wasn't sure if she was just seeing things, but she spotted a man wearing black pants, a black hooded jacket, and half of his face was covered with a cloth. His hands were in his pockets, and Andrea was certain he was staring straight at them. "Is something wrong?" Tristan asked. The man turned and walked away. "What were you looking at?" Tristan asked again. "Nothing," Andrea replied. She wasn't sure why, but a wave of fear washed over her. She hoped her instincts were wrong. After eating ice cream, they continued playing with the kids until they were all tired and decided to head home. "Is something wrong? You've seemed uneasy for a while. Is something bothering you?" Tristan asked after noticing Andrea in the kitchen, drinking water. It was nighttime, and everyone else in the house was already asleep. Andrea had woken up feeling thirsty, so she went downstairs. Tristan had just finished preparing a presentation and was also in the kitchen to get some water. "Was the mastermind behind your kidnapping caught?" Andrea asked suddenly. "Oh, that?" "The boss was caught, but the one who gave the order hasn't been found yet. They're close to getting him to confess. Is that what's bothering you?" Andrea didn't respond. She couldn't shake the feeling of worry. "There's nothing wrong with being cautious, but do you owe anything to someone? No one would just kidnap you out of the blue, right?" "I've already had that investigated. I don't owe anything to anyone," Tristan replied, stepping closer to Andrea and holding her hand. "Don't worry. I won't let anything happen to you or the kids. Trust me on that. I'll do everything I can, even risk my life if I have to." Andrea nodded. Over the past days, she had seen Tristan's efforts, and she couldn't blame herself for slowly beginning to trust him again. After finishing their drinks, they decided to return to their rooms. Andrea and Tristan's rooms were next to each other, just in front of the triplets' room, where the three boys shared a large bed. Andrea," Tristan called when he saw her about to enter her room. Andrea turned to him. "Why? Do you need something?" she asked. Without hesitation, Tristan approached and quickly kissed her on the lips. Andrea froze, surprised by the feel of his lips. After a moment, Tristan's lips began to move, and Andrea, stunned, eventually closed her eyes and found herself kissing him back. Before she realized it, she felt the soft mattress beneath her and Tristan's body on top of hers. They slowly removed each other's clothing until they were both bare. "Tristan," Andrea whispered as his kisses trailed down. She didn't know where to turn her head from the overwhelming mix of sensations. Soon, he kissed her lips again. "I love you, Andrea. I still love you, and nothing's changed," Tristan whispered. Andrea couldn't respond as she felt him enter her. Eventually, they both reached their climax, more than once, until they were too tired and finally fell asleep. The next morning, Andrea woke up late. Tristan had already gone to the company, so she got ready for the day. After breakfast, her parents took the triplets to a daycare center that offered early education for young but intelligent kids who weren't yet of formal schooling age. "It's already 9 a.m. I hope Tristan doesn't scold me," Andrea muttered to herself as she stepped out the gate. Tristan had 2 cars, and since Andrea knew how to drive, she usually drove one of them. Her parents had taken a taxi earlier with the kids. After closing the gate, she nearly screamed in surprise. Someone was behind her. "Nice to see you, Andrea. How have you been? Looks like you and Tristan are happy again," Dante said with a grin. Andrea froze, overwhelmed by shock, fear, and anxiety. She wanted to run, but it was too late. Dante was already too close. She couldn't scream or call for help because he was holding a sharp knife. "Let's pick up where we left off. Start by getting in the car and driving. I'll tell you where to go. Hurry," Dante ordered, pushing her toward the car. Andrea had no choice but to obey. She wanted to cry and fight back, but she didn't want her children to lose their mother. So for now, she held herself together and looked for any way to survive and escape Dante. "Can you believe it? I should have been locked up for decades. But thanks to my sources, I got out early. And what do you know? You and Tristan got back together. Happy little family now, huh? He must really love you if he can abandon me like this," Dante sneered while twirling the knife between his fingers. "Please stop this. Do you want to get arrested again? Change your ways if you want Tristan to accept you. What you're doing is wrong," Andrea said, her voice trembling but firm. "That's the problem. I don't stand a chance, even if I change, because you came back. I've already lost." Andrea didn't understand what he meant, but she stayed quiet. She just kept driving until they reached a place unfamiliar to her. A seemingly haunted, abandoned house. None of the roads looked familiar either, so Andrea had no idea where they were. "Close your eyes," Dante ordered. Andrea obeyed and soon felt a cloth being tied over her eyes. Before she could resist, he had also tied her hands. A cloth covered her mouth. She recognized a strange scent, and her vision faded until she lost consciousness completely. When she woke up, Andrea still couldn't see. Something was covering her eyes. She tried to move but couldn't. Her hands and feet were bound. Worse, she was lying on her side on the floor. She couldn't speak either. Something was covering her mouth. She checked her body internally. There was no pain, so she was sure Dante hadn't hurt her. Yet. "Is our lovely queen awake?" Dante's voice echoed through the room. He laughed loudly. She heard footsteps approaching. He removed the cloth from her mouth and eyes. Things were blurry at first, but eventually she could see Dante's face, grinning wide. "Before we finish what we started, let's chat. We've got all the time in the world. No one knows where you are, and there's no one else here. Just us," he said. Andrea said nothing. Despite the fear, she tried to be strong. She knew that her only hope now was herself. "You won't get away with this, and even if you do, Tristan will never stop. He'll come after you," she snapped. Dante laughed again. "Oh, really? Great, then we'll all meet in hell. I'll torture you, and when I'm done, Tristan will be so devastated, he'll follow you. Then I won't even have to kidnap him again." Andrea was stunned. "You're the one who had Tristan kidnapped? How could you do that to your own nephew? You ruined his life," she screamed. "That was the plan. I wanted his company. I worked for it too when his parents were alive. But it was handed to him alone. Life is unfair. No matter how hard you work, if it's not meant for you, it won't be yours. So I decided to make sure he wouldn't get it either. That way, we're even." "You're insane. You don't belong in jail. You belong in a mental institution," Andrea spat. Dante just laughed again. "Say whatever you want. It won't change anything. You're mine now, and there's no escape," Andrea didn't back down despite Dante's threats. She refused to give up. She wouldn't allow herself to be defeated. Her only hope was to fight back. Meanwhile, it was already noon, and there was still no sign of Andrea. Tristan had tried calling her multiple times, but she wasn't answering. He had searched the entire house and even asked around, but no one had seen her. Andrea's parents joined in the search, clearly worried. "We know where Mommy is," Louise said suddenly. They were all in the living room, each person trying to reach someone on the phone. Luis's statement immediately got everyone's attention as he and his brothers stepped forward. "We installed an app on Mommy's phone to know where she is when she's not with us. It looks like her phone still has battery, so we were able to find her location," Luke explained, showing it on the iPad. "Let's go get Mommy. I'll go first. You head to the police with your grandparents and report what happened. Follow me as soon as you're done," Tristan said, noting down the address shown on the tablet. "I'll get dressed," Miguel added, while Lisa excused herself to grab something. Tristan rushed out of the house and headed toward the location. Unknown to him, the triplets had sneaked into the back of the car, hiding where they could fit perfectly. After several minutes, Tristan arrived at the abandoned house. He immediately saw his car, the one Andrea had been driving. As he stepped out of his vehicle, he was stunned to see the triplets emerge from the back. "What are you doing here? Didn't you hear what I told you earlier? You're in big trouble with your mum when she finds out about this. And I'm in even bigger trouble," Tristan exclaimed, shocked. "We didn't want to stay behind. We saved you before and didn't even know you then. How much more, Mommy, when we know she's in danger?" Luke reasoned. "Yeah, Daddy, let us stay. We won't be a burden. We'll let you go ahead. Please let us help," the other two pleaded. "I'm thankful your mom raised you to be brave and kind, but we can't afford to lose anyone. Here's what we'll do. Stay inside the car. Wait for your grandparents to arrive. Once they're here, you can all go in together. Is that okay?" Tristan said gently. The triplets looked at each other. After a brief moment, they agreed to Tristan's plan, which eased his anxiety. He helped them get back into the car, slightly rolled down the windows, then pressed the lock button on his key fob, ensuring they couldn't get out. The boys sat quietly, watching their dad walk toward the house. Inside, Tristan moved slowly, carefully examining every path he took. He didn't know how many people were in the house, or who he might run into at any moment, so he stayed alert. After several minutes of searching, he heard a scream. He immediately recognized Andrea's voice and raced toward it. He found a room with the door wide open and rushed inside. "Come on, stop being so stubborn. I know you'll enjoy it eventually," Dante sneered as he tried to pull down Andrea's jeans. "You sick bastard!" Tristan shouted in rage. He ran at Dante and began punching him with all his strength. Dante fell to the ground, blood spilling from his mouth. "I thought you'd change after prison. I thought you'd learn something. But no, you're still the same. How could you stoop so low? To hurt your own blood? You're disgusting!" Tristan yelled. Dante laughed maniacally, wiping the blood from his lip. He pulled out a gun and pointed it at Tristan. "That's enough. Stop this madness. Don't do something you'll regret for the rest of your life," Andrea shouted. "I've had regrets for a long time. My family always saw me as trash. They favored Tristan's dad. We were just two brothers, but they never saw me. They always chose him. He wasn't a saint. They just idolized him." Dante cried out, full of bitterness. "Are you really sure about that? If the people around you hurt you, that doesn't mean my dad did. He loved you. He was your brother. You just never saw it because you were blinded by jealousy and rage," Tristan said with conviction. "I don't care anymore. I was blamed when your parents died in that accident, even though I had nothing to do with it. Everyone said I was a curse to this family. That's why I ran away." Tristan couldn't hold back any longer. He lunged at Dante, trying to wrestle the gun away. Dante resisted, and the two struggled for control. "Tristan, stop! Please just step back from him!" Andrea kept shouting, terrified. But Tristan didn't listen. He continued trying to disarm Dante. Then, bang! A gunshot rang through the house. The three of them froze, staring at each other. Dante started coughing up blood. Tristan's eyes widened in shock. "Uncle!" he gasped, rushing forward. "You didn't do anything wrong," Dante murmured, tapping Tristan's shoulder weakly before slowly closing his eyes. Tristan called out his uncle's name again and again, but Dante didn't respond. Tristan checked his pulse. He was gone. Andrea broke into tears from what she had just witnessed. She saw Tristan gently lay his uncle's body on the floor. After a few moments, he walked toward Andrea. Even though Tristan didn't cry, Andrea could feel his pain. Soon, the police arrived, along with Andrea's parents and the triplets, all frantic with worry. The police handled the scene and took statements from both Andrea and Tristan. After the investigation, it was confirmed that Tristan acted in self-defense. Even then, Tristan struggled to accept what happened. He hadn't cried during the funeral, but he felt that maybe his uncle had truly wanted to end his life. Maybe he had simply given up. But no matter the reason, violence was never the answer to any problem. A year later, "Happy birthday, godsons. You three are just too cute." Mildred greeted the triplets with enthusiasm. "Thank you, Godmother Mildred," the boys replied in unison, accepting the gifts she handed them. "Time flies so fast. You're all starting school this year. In just a few more years you'll be young men," she said fondly. "Exactly. But before that happens, you should start planning for your own family, especially now that your wedding is next month," Andrea said. "Of course, I'm not letting you beat me too far ahead," Mildred joked, laughing. They were currently celebrating the triplets' second birthday at a 5-star hotel. Many guests were present, including people the family had met in recent months. Andrea and Tristan had already gotten married 6 months ago, which had helped expand their circle of friends. Many guests adored the triplets and were supportive of Andrea and Tristan's relationship. Mildred excused herself to go meet her fiancé, leaving Andrea at a table. Her parents were mingling with other guests. They had also invited people from the province, which added even more joy to the triplets' birthday celebration. "I brought you your favorite, vanilla ice cream cake," Tristan said, placing a plate in front of Andrea. Andrea happily took a bite. "What's with that look? Are you judging me for eating?" she teased. "Why? Are you afraid I'll gain weight and not look sexy anymore?" she added, with a raised eyebrow. Tristan chuckled softly. "Why would I be afraid of that? That just shows I'm taking good care of you, especially when it comes to food. And besides, you know how to take care of your body, but even if you didn't, I'd be here to do it for you." "Wow, you really know how to say the right things, don't you? Keep that up, and I might fall even harder for you," Andrea said with a playful grin. "And I mean every word. I'll keep working on it," Tristan replied, full of determination. Andrea laughed quietly, then turned her gaze to their children, who were happily socializing with the other kids at the party. "Thank you. Even after everything that happened, you still chose to accept me and forgive me. I love you, Andrea. I love you and our children so much," Tristan whispered as he held her hand. Andrea smiled and kept her eyes on the boys. After a few moments, she looked back at Tristan. "I know none of this was easy for you, and continuing our life together won't always be easy either. But we have to keep going. I'm always here for you, and I know you're here for me too. So lean on me sometimes. We made a promise at the altar that no matter what comes our way, we'll face it together," she said, with meaning. Tristan met her eyes. Overcome with emotion, he couldn't hold back his tears. "Thank you, Andrea. Thank you for everything. I don't know where I'd be if you hadn't come back into my life with our kids," he said. Andrea embraced him. There, I'm not going anywhere. You'll always have me, and our children, by your side, she whispered. She let him cry until he calmed down. She never saw him as weak for crying. Everyone has the right to cry in times of hardship. The celebration continued until guests gradually began to leave. Everyone had a wonderful time, especially the birthday boys. They thanked all their guests, especially their mommy and daddy, and of course, their grandma and grandpa. In the end, life went on for Andrea and Tristan. They both learned how to forgive, to accept each other again, and to move forward. Despite all they had gone through, they learned to embrace their past and leave the trials they had faced where they belonged, in the past. Andrea continued to live kindly and pass that value on to her children. She also taught them to recognize when others tried to take advantage of their kindness and to always be alert so they wouldn't be abused by anyone. She reminded them to never abuse others either, and that if necessary, they should stand up for their rights and for justice. And this is where the love story of Andrea and Tristan comes to an end. Thank you for watching this awesome story brought to you by Mr. Hope. See you in the next one, my dear Hope Nation.
Hey, wait a second. You're really about to leave without subscribing? That's just cruel. Look, I may not have magical powers, but every new subscriber gives me superpowers of happiness. And the like button, that's like fries with a burger. Essential. So here's the deal. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell too. So the next time I upload, your phone goes, ding, it's time for awesomeness. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, show some love. If you didn't, show even more love by dropping a comment. Catch you in the next one. Until then, take care of yourself. And this channel too. Today we're going to share with you the keys to a happy life. Be thankful. Gratitude. Every morning when your eyes open, thank God. No matter how small your blessing be, if you still get breath for body, food for table, and family around you, you're already rich. Grateful heart they bring peace, and peace na the root of happiness. Treat people well. Good behavior. Treat people with respect. Talk to others the way you go want, make them talk to you. If you show kindness, it go come back to you. Smile at somebody. Help your neighbor. Share if you get. It no cost you anything, but it dey bless your soul. Good character na real wealth for this world. Take care of your body and mind. Health. No forget your body na your engine. If you no take care of how you go move. Eat clean, drink water, rest well, and move your body small every day. And not only your body, your mind too. If something they worry you, talk to someone. Pray, meditate. Peace of mind na serious blessing. Live with purpose, motive, and vision. No just live anyhow. Find what they give you meaning. Whether not to raise your children well, build your small business, or help your community, just get one reason to wake up every day. Purpose na like fire inside body. If you get you go shine no matter the darkness. Respect and hold your relationships, family and community. Money they come and go. Work fit end. But people way love you. They're the true blessings. Call your mama, hug your papa, greet your friend. No keep malice, forgive. Because at the end, the love and connection, they give life real joy.